Well, I felt like making this video because, well, the next time some stranger bitch turns around and tells you to watch your mouth, you need to lay into these people. They say it lacks class. Well, maybe it does, but it also lacks class, in my opinion, to turn around and interrupt a conversation which has nothing to do with you to correct the behavior of something that doesn't even indirectly concern you. These people are rude and need to be savagely destroyed by our words, not our fists. This was a speech I initially gave in a political science class, and I just found it lying around, and I thought I'd share, because we all have these incidents with people we see in public, and you just can't stand them. I mean, the ones who want to impose their standard on me, it's just upsetting. Well, here goes. Here's the speech. I don't usually read off this thing, but I practiced it once. I never practiced, but here we go. The fears of obscenity are stupid and impractical. To remove ourselves from the fear, we must first embrace it. There are many basic curse words within the English language. It might be fun to examine them. You see, censorship is not only an oppressive idea, but it's also completely without logic. As an artist, I pick a target audience and I consider what they would like to hear. But as a censor, I give everybody a generality and consider what they shouldn't hear. And this may work with some ideas such as pedophilia or harassment, but the system has gone far beyond the threatening conceptions and convinced us that words by themselves are inherently evil. I ask why. To prove my point, I've come up with a list of words that I personally don't want to hear on my television. We'll start with fuck because, hey, everybody loves to start with fucking. I don't have a problem with this word. It's the most versatile word in the English language. It can mean just about anything and correspond with just about every emotion. So to base on a generality that it's somehow indecent is asinine. I'm not going to tolerate asinine ideologies on my list. The word that I don't want to hear on the television is murder. Because at the end of the day, would you rather be fucked or murdered? By allowing murder on the television, one cannot argue with absolution that obscenities have been set up in such a way that enforces the common good and the public opinions of the people. I scroll down. Like I said, I never use these things. Let's see. Shit or piss? Nope. Don't have a problem with these words either. I don't want to hear the word cancer on my television. Think about it. You can shit or piss 2 or 3 times a day and still maintain a certain level of normality. But if you get cancer just once, it can kill you. Now, I know I'm holding up 2 fingers, but I mean once. I held them together. Come on. It can kill you. By allowing cancer on the television, one cannot argue with absolution that obscenities have been set up in such a way that represents a trespass of normal social behaviors. So that only leaves 2 explanations of why any word by itself would be considered obscene. Maybe it just sounds bad. For example, nobody listening to this wants to hear me say dingleberries. It's a very unpleasant word with a very unpleasant meaning. Second, not 2. Second, maybe any word that conservative America has declared war on was just inherited as dirty. But that would mean that it isn't actually dirty. But screw it, see, because I got more words on my list that I don't want to hear on the television. Bitch. No, I like bitch, because it's really just a female dog. I'm not prepared to make a swear word out of man's best friend. That is like treason. That is an unforgivable sin. It is my puppy dog's birthday today. I don't know if I should point that out. I love that dog like crazy. But, I don't think people should be allowed to talk about pandas anymore. You know they're ugly and pointless because they won't even have sex to save their own species. Now, as words evolve, bitch has become a female. It's also become a female. So is it really wrong for me to call your wife a bitch? Only if she's a hermaphrodite. In which case, perhaps what I'm saying isn't your biggest problem. Unless if you're into that sort of thing, which, hey, I don't pass judgment, more power to you. Next words. Pussy, vagina, clitoris, cunt. Nope, these words are fine. I don't want to hear the phrase pit of despair on my television, because when I weigh the facts with logic, I have to ask myself which hole I would rather be in. Now that was obscene. That was indecent. Maybe I shouldn't have said that, and I would apologize. But I think words relating to genitalia in any form should be allowed because most of us have them and enjoy them quite frequently. It's not that we have them, it is how we use them, which maybe we should be educated on because a lot of you just do not know. I digress from the list for a minute because there's something on my mind. Why is it that we can't watch two people making love on television, but we can watch two people killing each other? I think that consensual sex is less damaging for children to watch than the Power Rangers. Men and women with swords and axes who, when they get hit, only jump backwards dramatically with sparks shooting out of their chests. This is not an adequate depiction of reality, and if one adapts this as an adequate depiction of reality, they probably won't live long enough to know better. So, well, that's just what I think. Feel free to disagree. There is a final word that I would like to observe. Damn. My favorite. This is a paradox which goes on to prove my overall point. Cursing something is an obscenity in and of itself. People who condemn things that fail to live up to their artificial standards. Saying that a single word is evil and should not be uttered is superstitious fascist nonsense, and you shouldn't put up with it. I'm not going to put up with it next time I get corrected. I don't even care if there's a little fucking kid there. Shouldn't stand there. I don't do it intentionally. But hey, you know, life is life. You got to go outside and take the good with the bad. If you don't want to take the good with the bad, well then fuck off. No word or phrase could possibly be as disgusting as the people who try to take away your right to use these phrases. Now look at my video and it says I'm about 6 minutes and 30 seconds in. I honestly didn't even know I'd make it. But, because I did make it, we're going to go for a ride. I put the sucker on my wheelchair. We're going to have so much fun. Check this out. Hold up. This is how shit gets broken. I can't do this in the house. I'm not even drunk. I don't even have a fucking excuse. Shit. I'm going to leave it with that. And this whole ride thing, it's going to be our little secret.